Hi, this is Brian Tristam Williams with Elektor TV, and we're here at Messe München for Electronica 2022, where there are thousands of exhibitors with a very impressive showcase, including what we see here from ROHM Semiconductor Europe. And I've got here with me Stefan Drouzas, Senior Application Marketing Manager for ROHM Semiconductor Europe, and he's agreed to take a few of our questions. Thanks for joining us, Stefan.
Thank you.
So, in-car systems such as GPS and navigation systems, what we often find is that people will get them in the latest car, state-of-the-art, and then 2 or 3 years later, completely outdated, and we see people using smartphones for their GPS navigation and their music instead of the system that's in the car. So how does this rapid development life cycle put pressure on you to give more power to these in-car display systems?
Well, many car makers in the past decade have moved from the traditional distributed architecture to the domain architecture, domain controller architecture. This has a massive impact to the displays in the car. We also see a big influence from the consumer market, from smartphone and TV market, having a very big impact into the displays of the car, but those technologies have to be adapted to the highest quality of automotive, speaking lifetime, speaking functional space safety, speaking quality of the displays. So ROHM provides the IC components to enable car makers and tier ones to provide those high quality and high standards into the automotive industry, and also innovating in terms of display innovations, like, for example, local dimming is one of the latest innovations we will see more and more going into the automotive display. What we provide to the automotive world is a shortening the life cycle, shortening the development cycle, and also providing highest quality.
So for in-car systems being in the car, do you see these display technologies as taking up more of the interior of the cockpit, maybe even on less traditional surfaces?
Well, displays became one of the biggest differentiators for car industry today. For the instrument cluster, but also for the center stack display, they became almost standard. What we'll see in the future is more head-up displays. We'll see more projection technologies going into the cars, but also in combination with illumination, interior illumination. And ROHM provides both LED drivers for the backlight of the systems, but also LED drivers for in-car illumination for the interior.
So that's lots of digital signals zipping around the car, using lots of bandwidth, especially for video. So how are today's systems able to manage that kind of bandwidth?
Well, the transport of high-speed data from the cameras to the ECUs, or from the ECUs to the displays, is a very demanding and very critical, safety critical topic. So we see only very few players in the market as of today. ROHM has entered this market as we see that this market is growing and there is more space in the market for more suppliers. And ROHM entered this market with a very robust but also very cost-effective solution to connect cameras with ECUs and the ECUs with the displays. So the serializer-deserializer components from ROHM, which you see here today for the first time, are presented. We can support topologies, camera topologies like star topologies, but also daisy chain, and on both camera side and display sides.
So what sort of connection speeds in bits per second are you able to achieve sending these high resolution video signals around the car?
So today we see most of the data rates between cameras and ECUs and displays between 3 gigabits and 6 gigabits per second. In the future, we will see more than 12 gigabits or even more. We see, of course, also new technologies being adopted, like compression, to overcome the bottleneck of the transmission. But we also see that more and more on the display side. But if the functional safety allows, we will see that also on the camera side, for example, compression.
So that introduces a lot of complexity to a car, and it leaves a lot of room for error. So what happens when something goes wrong? For example, a cable breaks or a camera stops working. How much autonomy does each display module need to have in order to make sure that you can drive the car safely?
So each car maker has its own safety rules or its own safety goals to be implemented. So what we provide from ROHM side is the components that can be flexible enough to implement those safety rules and safety goals. For example, for the camera, or when the picture is freezing, we can present an error message to the driver that he cannot rely anymore on the camera picture. But also on the display side, if something goes wrong with the connection, that the component that we are offering here for the displays can present information, safety critical information on the displays autonomously. So this is what we can provide to our customers.
So with more and more cameras being all over the car, is it still necessary to have mirrors sticking out of the sides of the car?
So to replace the mirrors, the traditional mirrors, with electronic mirrors is a very complex and very challenging task. The benefits are that economy of fuels, so fuel saving, but also to avoid the blind spot. So there are clear benefits to replace the traditional mirrors with e-mirrors, definitely. The complexity is that these systems need to operate on very harsh lighting conditions, from direct sunlight, but also to artificial light in the night, during the night. So what ROHM provides to our customers are components, ICs, that can correct the image that is coming from the cameras before it gets presented on the display, the mirror replacement.
So we've seen an increase, an almost scary increase in the amount of intelligence in artificially intelligent systems. And that's a lot to keep up with. How do you keep up with developments to make sure that ROHM stays in the leading forward?
That's right. The artificial intelligence systems will provide a complete new way of driving to the passengers and to the driver. That means that the autonomous level will increase more and more, and passengers will do different things in cars in the future, but the display systems will remain the main human interface with the car, whether it's entertainment, whether it's driving or taking back the control of the car. So ROHM is concentrating on these display technologies to make driving a car and entertainment in the car on the one side more safe, but also more enjoyable.
Okay, thank you, Stefan, for agreeing to take some of our questions.
Thank you.
That was Stefan Drouzas, Senior Application Marketing Manager for ROHM Semiconductor Europe. Stay with Elektor TV as we continue to bring you more developments right here from Electronica 2022.